The next one, this was one that you wanted to look at here. Michigan against Washington here. Michigan 6-point favorites. Wow, Michigan looked good in week one, which I thought they could. The trust for me with them is just a long ways away, and with Harbaugh. So, but it was good. They kicked ass. Their defense looks solid. I was surprised I'm not surprised. Western Michigan has no defense. They're going to be able to score a lot in the MAC. That's why these MAC teams were so bad. They all got their ass kicked, and one of the worst in the MAC, Northern Illinois, which I had Georgia Tech, beat them. That's how pathetic the Georgia Tech game was, and they were one of the every MAC team, even Syracuse beat Ohio, kicked their ass, 28-9. So the MAC, obviously we knew they were going to get their ass kicked, but the one team wow. Well, no more speaking of that. We'll cut that out. But let's get to this one. McNamara was good. They have the two quarterback system. They both kind of played okay. They ran it just all over them. I think they ran over 300 yards. Michigan did, which I thought they would there. And the defense played well. But what about Washington? Man, what a bad loss to Montana. Not that Montana, the Big Sky, they played well. They covered against a bunch of teams all weekend. I mean, I think they might have went undefeated. I'd have to double check that, at least on covering numbers. But, man, maybe they took them lightly. They shouldn't. 3 picks by the Washington quarterback, 226, and they didn't run it either. Washington got stuffed. I think they had about 60 yards rushing. I wrote down 65. Montana couldn't move it. Washington, obviously, they should stop a Montana team. They only had 105 yards passing. Ran a little better, but what an ugly one. That was just an ugly game. I caught a little bit of it. How's Washington? Is this the big game now? Like, they played so bad, they're going to be better. Can they cover? It's only 6 points. Is this just Michigan's going to go and walk all over them here at home? It'll be a tough one for the Huskies. What do you like in this one, Washington at Michigan?
You said it great, man. I'll go to the Washington side first. I mean, could you start a season worse, really? I mean, you don't score a touchdown. Or did they score a touchdown? Did they lose 13-7? I think it was 13-7. Okay, so they
lost 13-7.
Yeah. You score one touchdown in your home opener against Montana. There's not much else to say. I mean, that's terrible for everything involved. That's an embarrassing loss. So what does that say to me? That says this week's going to be all business. We're going to see what this Washington team is about. Again, an overreaction of, are they actually that shitty? Did they not get off the bus? Or was it a look ahead? Tough for me to kind of get on the look aheads in week one, just because we haven't played in so long and you got a home game and you're looking ahead to a Michigan team that was average last year, if you even want to call it that.
Yeah.
Right? And then you got Dylan Morris throwing 3 picks. So you got your quarterback. It's just a terrible. Nothing good happened for Washington in week one. So I expect a response. That being said, Michigan was impressive. Western Michigan isn't great. I think they'll do decent. I think they'll move the ball decently well in the MAC too, just like you said. But damn. Talk about tough spots to be in. I think Boise State was in one of the toughest spots. I think Western Michigan was in one of the toughest spots you could possibly be in. A Jim Harbaugh with extreme amounts of pressure on him, and a team that's going to play in front of 107,000 fans. So
yeah,
I was impressed with Michigan, but it wasn't like, wow, these guys are really, this great first game. It was solid. It is what it should have been. Now, I feel square doing this one, but I like Michigan at the -6, and I like them grabbing this early, because I think it's going to move up. I saw someone in the chat put their number 1 receivers out, so that could obviously hurt things. But Zach Wilson, thank you, man, appreciate that. And then, we're playing in front of 107,000 fans. It's a hot seat game for Harbaugh. Washington just lost. Michigan loses this game, man, they might burn down the city. So I'm rolling Michigan at -6. I just think it's one of those pressure things where Michigan will prevail. And I don't know how good Washington is. Michigan could smack the shit out of them, 21-7. I don't know. I just don't know on what's Washington. So this is more of a Michigan bet based on the pressure, the situation. They're at home. They look solid in week 1. I like them at -6 because I do think it's going to go up. I think just publicly, based on the names, that could get to 6.5, maybe 7.
I think so too. I think people, not everyone's into it. We're just, we're here on Monday, which we'll be here every week doing this. I think it could go up as people realize, the casual bettors and stuff like that will go, wow, Washington last week to Montana, find that out and say Michigan's only laying under a touchdown. So I think it moves as well. It could be a buy low on Washington. Can they be this
totally
bad? This game to me is a watch as well, but I don't bet Michigan often, but from what I saw, I watched a little bit of both games. Right now at 6, I think there's a little value on Michigan, and maybe like you talked about early. I mean, Washington, all teams are different. I see these teams, sometimes these week ones are horrible. They get going. They haven't done anything. These spring practices haven't been together and haven't played anything live, real, football. And especially like you said, place like the big, 107,000, huge stadium. But Washington, man, they're a team that 3 picks that killed them. I don't know the way Michigan defense can they play well. I mean, if Montana shut them down at home, they're going on the road, like you talked about. This could be a buy low for Michigan and get them to cover. This one is head scratching to me. One I want to watch because Michigan in the past has burned me, and I love going against Michigan. Shout out to our guy Big Show's a Michigan fan. I always like ripping them on that. They've had all the troubles they've had in Harbaugh, which I can't believe he's still there.
Yeah.
They pay that guy all that money to rock those khakis on the sideline.